Pay me, pay me, pay me my silver now. Pay me or go to jail. Pay me my silver now.
Good morning, Bix Weir, roadtour.com. Starting the cleanse again. The raw food reboot. Yeah, too much party in the summer. Too much fun is had. But let's talk about silver. We're getting into the crazy time of September. All of September is going to be nuts. So I don't expect much this week other than there are some surprises in the Commitment of Traders report that we haven't seen before, which I'll get to in a second. But right now they're holding silver steady. We are still above the moving averages, the 50-day, 100-day, 200-day moving averages. If you look right here, we're nicely above them, just hovering around there. Yes, they can press the price down. Yes, they can put it anywhere they want. Right now, they haven't. And a really interesting thing about that is that the Commitment of Traders report, which is a CFTC-generated report from data required by those participating in the COMEX, which is very few people. Yes, I know the volumes are off the charts. You know, they'll trade half a billion ounces a day when we're only mining 800 million coins. But it's all the same people trading back and forth to each other to control the price of silver. Very few people trade on the COMEX. Very, very few. The fact that it is used to set price because the bullion banks can control it that's the only reason that people even look at the COMEX, is that's where the price is set. There is no other exchange on the planet that people look at for price. For delivery of physical, the COMEX is still no longer acceptable. And people are like, why aren't they delivering physical on the COMEX anymore? Remember, it's only a handful of people, maybe 20 traders at max that control everything, and they collude with each other. We've seen that in the J.P. Morgan bust was not just J.P. Morgan. They colluded with about 10 other banks, and all of them got a little slap on the wrist, including J.P. Morgan got a $920 million slap on the wrist. Oh, by the way, they booked $1 billion in gains that same year in gold and silver trading. So as you can tell, the slap on the wrist doesn't even matter. Doesn't even matter. They still made $80 million in gold and silver trading. Just keep that in mind. But let's take a look at, why don't we start with the interesting pattern going on for the month of August. Like I said, the riggers of the markets figure out how they're going to rig long ahead of time, program it in, so there's no key clicking or anything like that. That was all bullshit. I was using it being facetious, hey, here's a funny joke. Can you imagine a guy clicking his mouse? They don't click their mouse. For example, they set what was going to happen in August back at the end of July. They set it in motion, click play, and they're done. And they did it perfectly because there's not real traders trading. It's just banks and hedge funds and BlackRock trading back and forth with each other. But there is a different thing. As you can tell, August, we started right around $24. We went down. You could draw this picture if you wanted back at the beginning, which is what they did. Keep everything under control. We're nearing the end of August. We have to get it back up to where it was. We don't want too many people getting in. It's so ridiculous. But again, there are no deliveries anymore on the COMEX. Very few deliveries of silver on the COMEX. They all get sent over to England, supposedly, which is very hidden and shrouded, and nobody knows what goes on in England. But as you can tell, exchange for physicals, 5,500,000 added. That is really, right now, it's the second largest in history that have been contracts that were bought on the COMEX exchange and sent over to London for delivery. They are currently at 140, so add the 147 million. That's the second largest in history during a month. The largest being back in, right here, March of 2022, they did 207 million. But I look at that and I'm like, well, the month before was kind of short of 72 million, so that could be like a merging of months. I'm not quite sure what that is. Probably has to do with the J.P. Morgan lease because it was a a year prior to that the big silver squeeze happened, and they mobilized J.P. Morgan Silver to stop that squeeze through Bank of America. We all know this, right? We all know this. So yes, I am expecting close to $200 million. The exchange for physicals, it can happen really fast. They can do a $20 million transfer in a blink of an eye. Any amount, it doesn't matter. They play games with these numbers, and what's interesting now is looking at the open interest is disappearing again from comics, and it's all being rolled over to the next month, to December. October and November. Wait, where is this? Where is November? Yeah, October and November are not delivery months. But December is, though. And it's up to 100,000 contracts, 500 million ounces of silver, which is ridiculous. This 22 will probably end up at about, I would guess the delivery would be less than 10 million ounces on the comics, which means this would have to get down to like 5,000 contracts. No, what is it? 2,000 contracts. Yeah, I do think we're going to get that low. It's crazy. But that's the game that's played, and they've been telling us that's how they play for decades. So again, keep an eye on exchange for physical. We're at 147 million ounces. I think it will get up to near 200 million. And then September might be really, really big. So really interesting time for physical silver. You won't see it in price because they don't allow that to be seen. Let's look at the commitment of traders, and this is what changed. Remember, this is the week prior to last Wednesday. Last Wednesday, like I said, here they come, and silver shot up above the two moving averages because they try to hide the data. So we don't know really who was shorting and who was going long for that week. But the week before we do, and it was a huge change. The commercials, who usually short into the rise, didn't do anything, practically nothing. The short is you add up the producer, merchant, processor, and the swap dealers, and that's the bad guys. They did practically nothing. A 500 long and a 1,000 short, so they're short about 400. Long, they got rid of 700, so the net would be 1,100. And then the swap dealers got rid of 600, so it's like 500-600 contracts. That's it. That's nothing. And you might think, well, what is going on? Because look at managed money. These are the tech traders. Holy crap. They went long 4,700 contracts. That's what, 23 million ounces, 23.5 million ounces. That's a big jump in the long, especially because they were still under the moving averages. And then they got rid of 3,000 shorts. So that's about 40 million ounces. Excuse me. 40 million ounces. So normally it would be the commercials that would cover that. They didn't do it this time. So who's covering the 40 million ounces that the managed money both went long and got rid of their short? Where did it come from? Right here. Other reportables and non-reportables. These entities barely do anything, and they are massive, especially the non-reportables. So other reportables, they got rid of their longs mainly, which is interesting, of 12 million contracts. Plus, they went a little short with 2,500,000 contracts. But that's massive for this category. But look at this one. Non-reportable positions. This is like, it could be the U.S. government. It could be anybody. But clearly, everybody in this whole group is colluding. They went short, or they got rid of longs of 15, 16 and a half, and then added shorts of 5 million, a little over 5 million. So that's 5 million or 5,000 contracts, 25 million ounces. This entity called non-reportable positions. Non-reportable positions. It doesn't even say how many traders are in each category of that. So that's where, potentially the Exchange Stabilization Fund, because we did have a couple big meetings that week. It could be anybody. But all of them collude. All of them are colluding together. I mean, there one or two might not get the memo for that week of what to do, but it's such a joke. The free markets in America are completely gone. And you take away free markets, then you take away freedom. So our freedoms are going so fast. It's so sad and embarrassing. They arrest Trump, really? For what? For saying you cheated on the election, which you did, Democrats? Democrats always said they cheated on. What happened when Hillary lost? He cheated, illegitimate president, all over CNN. But Trump does it, and let's throw him in jail. That's how powerful these assholes are. Again, behind the scenes, the good guys have this under control. I'm not worried that Trump might rot in jail for the rest of his life. It's not going to happen. More likely, they'll come out. You know, the more this happens, the faster they're going to release the real information on who are the evil ones, who are the pedos, who are the bad guys in these situations. And, I mean, if you're on the right, you probably won't be shocked with the people in Congress and the people in the Department of Justice and the people in the White House. You won't be shocked to see them be tried for treason. But some of the left will. I mean, when was the last time a president was tried for treason? They try to do it with Trump all the time. There's a difference between impeaching him and what they're doing now with this ridiculous thing. And you know, if you're going to try him for treason, punishable by death, let's go down the list of Biden appointees that deserve the death penalty, in my opinion. Anyway, not going to go there. YouTube doesn't like me saying that. Ted Butler had mentioned that the U.S. Mint, it looks like they've changed their ways. That was exactly coinciding with my interview of Jack Sermon, the head of Silver Eagle Sales. So if you guys haven't listened to that 3-part interview, go to roadtoroad.com. It's right there on the free side. It's a great discussion with the head of the Silver Eagle Sales program at the U.S. Mint. He didn't really know who I was. Not that I'm anybody, but I told him, yeah, I run a blog and you have a YouTube channel. But he was very frank and very honest and very open that they were not creating Silver Eagles to meet demand, and they were told what's the minimum we can get away with. That's completely illegal. Completely illegal. So Ted seems to think that the Mint is getting their act together. I don't think so. As a matter of fact, Jack Sermon, right in here, when I interviewed him at the end of May, said they just got allocated 4 million more ounces because they were going way too low and everybody was screaming about it. So I don't see these ramping up to what production should be at all by the end of the year. I see them doing like 2 million in September, October, and November, and then cutting it off right around 20 million ounces, which is exactly what Jack told me. Now, they could be doing 5 million, 6 million ounces every single day. And maybe they are behind the scenes. We don't know. At least that's what Ventures Gibson, the head of the Mint, a complete lefty, no experience in minting at all. She's an HR professional, put as head of the Mint by Biden. Yeah, she told everybody that they've greatly increased Silver Eagle production. And here we are hovering at half of what they normally do or could do. I mean, David Ryder was in there doing 4 or 5 million every month. And the Mint just can't seem to get their shit together. Or they can, and they're controlling the price of silver through not only through not selling Silver Eagles, but abusing their hedge book. In 2021, the year of the silver squeeze, they literally booked a $112 million loss that year. And it was a year that the price of silver went down by, on average, $3. So it's really a massive loss, about $8 per coin that the U.S. Mint. Now, they made it up by triple charging us for all the numismatics, which is ridiculous. By the way, the U.S. Mint is not supposed to mark up Silver Eagles at all. They don't as much as the dealers do, and the dealers are doing it because there's so few Silver Eagles out there. Now the commissions or the premiums have come down a lot. Maybe you can get them for under $30 Silver Eagles today, maybe not. When it goes over $25, you won't be able to. But right now at 24, you might be able to. Call around, find out. I don't know what Andy's selling them for, or Perpetual Assets should be close, but definitely if you live in America, you want to get your hands on some Silver Eagles. They might. I mean, there's always the potential for them to outlaw any other silver coinage. And don't say they can't do it, because gold was illegal to own from 1933 to 1974. So they can do it. If you want to follow the law, I don't see them even trying, but they might. And then all of a sudden, they won't be able to ban the U.S. mint coinage because it's written into the law, theoretically. So we'll find out. You want some, but again, don't pay too much for them. So get a bunch of... I don't like anything over 10-ounce silver, by the way. I've been talking about this for a very long time. It's pretty damn easy to make a fake silver bar. Put some molybdenum in there, and then coat it with silver. Very few people drill into silver bars. Almost nobody drills into a gold bar, so it's so much easier to fake gold. You know, the scratch test does nothing. It shows you what it's plated with, really. And there are other more sophisticated tests, but yeah, just keep it at small amounts. 1 ounce coins. Pre-65 coinage is still my number one favorite investment because it's recognizable. It's usually pretty cheap and great for barter. Although I don't think we'll hit that point, but you never know, right? You never know. So they got new COVID coming out. Surprise, surprise! It's election time. Here's Biden's latest. Listen to what he says.
President, can you say anything about the uptick of COVID cases and the new variant?
Yes, I can. Matter of fact, I signed off this morning on a proposal we have to present to the Congress a request for additional funding for a new vaccine.
Excuse me? Yeah, I can't play any more of that or YouTube will bust me, but yeah. Would you do it? Would you, after all the information now and all the peer pressure and people saying, what have I done? What have I done? Would you? I'm not going to mention it on this channel. I don't want to get kicked off again or get a strike. So, fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. That's where we are. If you take it, yeah, good luck to you. But definitely they're doing it during the election. Hawaii, I discussed this with Jenny Moonstone, and we have some pretty concrete stuff coming. I will be posting it today or tomorrow. I posted it last week, but we had an event this weekend. Yeah, Jenny nailed it, and we also talk about silver. So go check that out at the private road at roadruta.com. We are currently, as of right now, giving away the silver Ruta coin with every subscription and renewal. Again, that will end. $30 silver is when I cut off the Ruta coin. So join the private road, get your silver Ruta Lives coin, and we'll go on from there. This is Bix Weir. I'll talk to you later.
Well, here's a true story about a man just like you. He worked his whole life, he was honest and true. Built up a nest egg the way they said to. Invest in the market, money works for you. And everything is fine, picking the winners every time. Started to believe he can make dollars out of dime. Little did he know he's being primed for a fall. The riggers let you play, then the riggers steal the ball. We want free markets, not a million phantom trades. Lest everyone's honest, we're gonna lose what we made. Got to shut down exchanges, trade one for one. We want free markets, well, our work's just begun. Free markets are the road to freedom. Capitalism, not as bad as they say. The world has never tried it, rigging markets every day. Socialists fail every time in every way. Need a better system to forge a better day. We want free markets, not a million phantom trades. Lest everyone's honest, we're gonna lose what we made. We gotta shut down exchanges till they trade one for one. We want free markets, our work's just begun. Free markets are the road to freedom. I said free markets are the road to freedom. Crypto solution, if only done right. We can take out the liars, bring dark into light, and trust in the math, not the people who lie. I think we can make it if we give it a try. We want free markets, not a million phantom trades. Lest everyone's honest, we're gonna lose what we made. We gotta shut down exchanges till they trade one for one. We want free markets, our work's just begun. 'Cause free markets are the road to freedom. I said free markets are the road to freedom. Free markets are the road to freedom.